To fix these pictures, I'm going to start with the picture of the guy, which is the most difficult one of all probably to fix. One of the problems is that there's too much grain in the photo and it's very difficult to get rid of that. The other one is that it's too yellow. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually get rid of the grain. To do that, I'll go to the filter menu and go to sharpen, go to noise and reduce noise. By playing around with these sliders, you can get a fairly good result. There's no real color noise in there, but you can see there's a bit of a greenish tinge in his cheeks. So I'll bring the strength up to about 7, leave everything else the same, click on Remove JPEG Artifacts and click OK. So that softened the noise a little. Now to get rid of the yellow. To get rid of the yellow, what I'm going to do is use my hue and saturation adjustments, which is this guy over here. Click that, and you'll notice it automatically makes an adjustment layer. Now the color we want to get rid of really is yellow. So instead of adjusting the master, what I'm going to do is choose yellows. I've got my 3 little eyedroppers there. So to start with, I'll use my starting eyedropper and just click somewhere on his forehead. And then I'll use my plus eyedropper to add more shades of yellow to that from his face. I can then come along to the saturation slider and drag it down until his skin color looks fairly natural. And that's it for the picture of the guy. The next thing we have to do is look at the picture of the woman. Now there's actually 2 problems with this. The one is that she's got a very red flush on her face. The other is this background yellow, which is really, really disturbing. The procedure is almost identical because you don't have that grain problem. We don't have to worry about that. It really is just the color that we have to worry about. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the flush on her face. And once again, I'll go to the hue and saturation adjustments to make a hue saturation adjustment layer. First of all, this time I'm going to go to reds because it really is the red that I want to get rid of. Instead of using my eyedroppers this time, I'm going to use the slider tool, which is just over here. And the way that works is you have to click on it, bring it to the area you want to adjust, click and drag to the left to take it down or to the right to take it up. So that pretty much gets rid of the red flush. What I also want to do now is get rid of or tone down those yellows in the background because they're really just screaming at me. So instead of reds or magentas this time, I'm going to go to yellows. And once again, use my slider tool, click on the yellows and drag down to make them somewhat less offensive. If you want to lessen her wrinkles, what you can do is make sure you're on the background layer, create a new layer, get your spot healing type brush, make sure that sample all layers is clicked on and that content to where it's checked on, and then just gently go over the lines on her face. Now that didn't quite work. I was a bit too enthusiastic there, so I'm just going to do this one again. I think I need a smaller brush for that. That's a bit better. So that makes it look a little bit as if she's had plastic surgery, which is something that we don't want. So what I'm going to do is bring that opacity, the opacity of that particular layer down to around about 60%. And that's pretty much it. I hope that works for you.